One of my favorite comments that I get is, well, why don't you just build a piece of software or why don't you just go build an app? And I inevitably cringe because I know how hard these things actually are. I've been building an app for 10 years and building a platform for 10 years, and we're almost 10 years now. And it is very difficult to actually do. So first of all, you sort of have a basic understanding of what you want, but then you have to figure out, okay, where do I begin? How do I do this? And everybody's like, well, isn't that what ChatGPT or Gen AI is? I'm like, okay, go do that and try it for a brief moment and see what actually happens. See how difficult it actually is. What you'll realize is that just like any other thing that you build and that you do, no matter how good the scaffolding, no matter how good the instructions, there is always problems that you experience, no matter how well laid out things actually are. And the truth is that when you sign up for something like this, and the only thing that things like tools like ChatGPT or any number of different tools that you have at your fingertips do is just accelerate things. But you still experience, even when things are accelerated and more is done for you, you still have a tremendous number of problems and issues that you face, from things being broken continuously. There's always something that's broken. There's always something that is conflicting. There is always, doesn't matter what it is, to figuring out, okay, you built this thing. Now what do you actually do? Right? Like that is the challenge is not about just building it. It's how do you get people to actually use it? How do you get people to find it interesting? That there's so many problems that you experience along the way and so many issues that you experience along the way that you have to be ready for it, right? And at any given moment that you think, okay, this is going to be really easy, you go and try to do it and you realize it's really difficult. It's really frustrating. And the other thing is that you always think, well, there probably should be a better way of actually doing this. And you don't know what that better way actually is. It's never going to show itself. And what's going to happen is you're going to build something based on what you think is the best possible way at the given time. And then you realize 5 years down the road that there probably was a better way and somebody showed you a better way. And then you get frustrated and you think I should switch or I should change. But then you realize when you do switch or change that there's still problems and flaws, just as many as there is as you had before. And all of this is just very, very normal. It's the experiences that you're going to go through. And then you're also going to think that I'm not paying enough. I'm not paying people enough. I don't know if I'm actually doing the right thing. I don't know who to contact. I don't know. Like there's all these just a number of innumerable number of just I don't knows, right? Like you don't know what the actual answer is. You don't know what you should do. And the truth is that you're right? Like you don't know anything. And the person that actually goes and does this and stands up is never going to know either. Even if they are in the same boat or more talented or, any number of different things, they don't know either. Right? And they will never know. And you will never know what the actual answer is. And that's what it actually means to do anything that is worthwhile. Right? That's what it means to do something where you're building for the first time. And there's always a first time. Right? And the thing that you have to do is realize that's just part of it. all of these frustrations that you're going to experience, and realize that when you experience a frustration, it doesn't mean that you just don't, you give up, right? It means that there is another way, right? There's these things called workarounds, right? And these workarounds is very, very typical of anybody that has actually done anything in this world. And what it is you just run into a roadblock because something is not working. And so you say, okay, well, there must be a different way. And so you go about it doing a different way. And you keep going through different routes until you find the thing that actually works, right? So there's these barriers that come up, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the area that you're actually in, right? The thing that you're working on, whether it is, the actual development of something, of building, some software, for example, or, advertising, figuring out how to connect with people, figuring out how to manage, like, it's just nonstop issues that happen. And it doesn't mean that you're wrong, right? That's the thing, is it doesn't mean that you're wrong. And the key thing with all of this is, first of all, recognize that that's it, right? Like that's what you signed up for. It's just problem after problem after problem. But then realize that, the frustration that you feel, and you're always going to have these frustrations, you're not going to know what to do, is totally natural. And instead of getting angry, which I have a natural tendency to get angry or to run away. So if it's inert, like software, I get angry. I get kind of upset. And so what you need to do is to figure out how to just control that. And when you start getting stuck, you ask for help, right? Or you go find something, you take a pause, you try for a bit, you get frustrated, you try for a pause, and you go and do something else, and you come back, and then you figure it out, right? Inevitably, there'll be something that will happen that will help you to reconcile it. All of this is to say that building anything that's important in your life, building software, building a company, it's that you signed up for dealing with nonstop frustrations. And your job is to simply just say, I'm going to deal with this, okay? And I'm going to take a step forward regardless of what happens. So if anybody ever says, just go build an app or something like that, it usually means that they're very inexperienced. One of the greatest things that my oldest son has done so far is he's taken a couple of game development classes, which is just kind of basic programming that they do now to sort of wrap it, make it interesting. But they spend the entire year trying to build something to realize just how difficult it actually is. And, they have a finished product, but he's like, it's just not, I just had this conversation this morning. He's just like, it's just not there isn't enough stuff there. Well, that's the point. That is building something, is that there's always more to do. There's always more things. There's better ways of doing things. There's just all of these unknowns and all of these frustrations that you have. And the key is to look at it and say, okay, well, I can give up, which is what everybody does, right? Like everybody does this. They just give up. Or you say, okay, well, all right. So this is the one thing, and I did it. It's not quite where I want it to be, but I step back up and I do it again, right? You just are like, okay, let's keep going. And with all of it is incredibly frustrating. Like if you're actually building or paying for somebody to do it, it's frustrating as all get out, right? So if you're building it, it means you're just spending all your waking hours building, 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 and eventually, you do sort of have to make these hard choices. It's expensive, right? I'm spending all my time doing this. I don't know what I'm doing, like all that sort of basic stuff. And then on the other side, if you're actually spending money, which I have a development team. You're thinking like, I wish I can spend the more. I wish I can dedicate more time. I wish that I could just do more, right? Like you're just constantly thinking about that, and there's no right way. There absolutely is no right way. Just have good intentions, and you just keep trying to figure it out. And it's just problems after problems after problems. And that's what it means to actually build something, is getting back up and doing it again. And when people dismiss you and they look down on you, it just simply means like they are just not in the know. And they are, they are just, like, it's something where you just simply have to say, I wish you the best of luck. You have no idea how troublesome this actually is. But that's it. That's the story of building anything that's real in your life. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.